Chicken McNuggets for just $9.95 every day.
Welcome back. Welcome, Pulse.
Oh, hello.
How you
How's
feeling?
it going? It's pretty good. I've got so much freedom here. Actually, I didn't realize I'm kind of leashed though, because you can only go so far forwards.
Yeah.
So that's the illusion of freedom, but there isn't.
Yeah. No, we're
You're
trapped.
actually a prisoner in this incredibly comfy
I haven't
couch.
seen my family in 8 weeks. That was not expected.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
the first unexpected game of the weekend, I think. You know what I mean? We've had a bunch of close ones.
We've
but
had
this
some
time-
moments that have been
Yeah,
unexpected.
like, I
but-
mean, last Direwolves game, like every single time, but we haven't seen one actually cross the line, and Direwolves going to do it.
Yeah, they actually closed it out, right?
Yeah.
We've come we said this in our cast, like asymptotically closer to a
Yeah.
win, but never quite there. And yeah, I mean, big deal, right? Because like every other team in the race has not been able to pick it up, and like this is the one team, Direwolves, actually getting over Mammoth.
Yeah, and like a couple of players to shout out, like we heard it in the cast, but I think Totoro had one of those hilarious games where you start the match off like flash angry pulverizing the ground and being like, oh no, and a gank gets turned around, and then it's like winning them team fights, like the flash getting king at the back end of that one, and that gets him a Baron, that gets him the end of the game, and yeah, the complete turnaround. Katsuri, super wholesome in the interview, you know, like what have you been working on? Like, I was just working on myself, like
Totally.
stepping in between a bunch of these veterans. I am the rookie, but he is like, he said slow start to the split, but he started the split off with a
His
with a
first hit of game was
quadra kill,
crazy.
right?
Yeah.
And so like this is a guy that is actually just going from strength to strength. And Direwolves, like now they get that one berth over AV. They're on 9 points and they're just securing themselves up the top side.
Yeah, and like I said, they're playing the pool they're playing in now is not the pool that we would have expected the Direwolves to be in at the start of the split.
Yeah, no way. And I mean, like, it was a very big transition, like coming in from like the entire roster going down to OCS, bringing up a couple of the members, like the imports come through. You get Totoro, you get Raze, keeping Get Back and Biopanther on the roster. It was very different, and it has just been growth. The two teams that I do want to talk about, like, obviously this is a very big victory for Direwolves. Jake kind of hit on it in terms of Mammoth. Like, their last couple of weeks have been shaky, and like, yes, but it is kind of interesting that we have a very top-heavy, like when you take a look at the standing, like this was birthed by a tweet from Carbon. He's like, Direwolves are 4th with a negative win rate.
Yep.
Like, we have teams with 3 and 5 losses now, respectively. And there's this thing, I'll call it like wildcard syndrome, where like the teams that go international from wildcard regions very often are just like beating around their entire league.
Yep.
And they're like, so they're so good from ahead and then shaky from behind. And this is multiple times. We saw Chiefs first game. Like, if you have a good early game, they look beatable. Mammoth, same thing. They're a much more wait and play the late game stage, but these teams don't look dominant when their early game does not go very well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good observations. Good job, Carbon. You're back. You're back in the OPL.
All he did was look at the ladder and be like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Oh, wait, yeah, it does. Okay.
Yeah, well, you know, someone had to say it. Someone had to have the courage, Bryce. Okay, so we have some TFT legend making to continue. Thug Leeser in the chat says, Pulse looking very swaggy this evening.
Oh, thank you.
Do you feel swaggy?
I mean, it's the first time I get to see my legs on camera, which is...
You have legs.
I have legs, yeah.
Damn.
How do you feel about them?
Not bad, not bad. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah?
I actually put on nice shoes today as well, but we have a table in front of us.
You can put them up. It's okay.
Just put them up. There's no place.
Oh, they are nice
I'll do
shoes.
this.
Oh, those are legit nice shoes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
actual shoes.
Yeah.
I feel like
Okay.
party on top and then like business on the bottom.
I
Yeah.
love that Pulse came to the couch and was like, gotta get the ankles out. Like, we
Gotta
can't-
get, yeah.
You can't
OPL
cover 'em
ankles,
over here.
right?
You
It's
say,
on brand.
You say party at the top, business at the bottom. It's party all the way down until below the ankle, and then it's business.
business.
Yeah. Okay, so if you wouldn't mind passing me that plate, because Rusty obviously has left the building, but he will be casting the next game. But he has made his Fury Horn. It's
Oh, no. Oh, Nick.
no.
what have you done?
They're balancing.
Oh,
they're
it's like
balancing.
scaffolding.
Yeah.
right.
I'll
It's
hold
been
the
like
plate.
pins that have been. I just feel here. How about if I do that?
Yeah, okay.
This is actually like this is legit. I reckon. Look at that! Look at that Fury Horn.
Yeah,
Look
Cat's
at
already
it.
flamed it, but this is legit.
He straight up flamed it as well. He was like, I don't think that's very good. It's fine.
It's okay, Nick. I've designed them so that they have like a little hole that could be put in, and they'll go back in fine if they fall out.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh,
I
wow,
knew
you
that
have
they
to-
would fall
Oh
out,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I made a
okay.
system.
Well, he's not very furious right now. He's
He's
not
a sad
fury.
cat.
He's
He
a
actually
sad
looks
cat, right?
like the sad cat, like the no cat.
So I'm impressed with that. I reckon that's a really good job. I have finished my first one as well.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to see it?
Sure.
Oh, could we compare that? Can we get the picture of the Fury Horn up as well, just for confirmation? I got one
does have
moment.
little-
So We'll
does
go
have
with
little
mine.
holes for them to plug into. That's smart.
Oh,
that's,
yeah,
that's
that's
ingenuity.
So,
a feat of architecture.
I just need a glue.
okay.
You just need some sticky molding clay to actually stay together.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll bring up the bring up the graphic. Sure, let's go for it.
You're just having a conversation with someone that knows
Like there was a lot of
It's just
information,
like,
and I was like,
yep,
I don't know.
okay,
they're
yep.
not gonna bring up. It's fine. So we'll go on to mine. I made a feather knight. Now my feather knight was supposed to be like glowy pink, and I forgot that like you combine them, they don't combine smooth, so his skin.
Flayed.
There he is. He's got his little sword.
Oh.
There. He's got his little face.
It looks like
Sort out of the way.
what's that animal? The naked mole rat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does look like a naked mole.
Roll that.
He's holding, see? Oh, there we go. Look at that bad boy. So he's very dense.
He's
And he doesn't actually
Big
have any
penguin.
pupils. He's like the closer you look at him, the more terrifying he is.
Yeah.
But I feel like I did a pretty good job. Now
Yeah.
you.
Mine's well. I think they're doing that for my benefit. The question mark because I haven't looked at it yet. But this is what I've got up to. So I've got like a little. How do I hold him so that the chat can see him? So he's got a head. So like I mean,
Well
this
done.
This is very basic. But then he's just like a little snake and like yeah, this is meant to be negative space.
Yeah.
So the black bits don't exist. Where's a hold on? We'll hold it right there over the cushion, and then it's like you can't. I'm angling this
Hold
poorly.
it over me.
Well,
I'm a good
like
background.
right in the center. Open your shirt a bit. My hands are in the way.
Oh, look at the,
There we
even
go.
more swag
There
on
we
right now.
go.
Look at
Right,
this.
and you don't even know his like
That's
his
pretty
tail
good.
exists. Yeah,
Your
and
hands
so
are
I'm getting
straight
there.
up covering 95% of that. There you go. That's better.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's
There
good.
we go. Sick.
Like artistic license being used. You do have the paperclip option if you want, but
he's been stuffed full of a paperclip
oh right.
from head to
Oh.
toe. The snake.
just in there?
Yeah, yeah,
As
yeah.
like
I mean,
the-
so
okay.
because otherwise it's just gonna flop, right?
Oh,
So that he
right.
holds his like arc shape.
But also, you
'Cause he's-
could have used the paperclip. You could have chunked out the bits. The paperclip would keep, like.
Oh.
That's why I suggested the paperclip in
Oh,
the first place.
I
'Cause
was
it's
just-
like it could look like he's floating.
For structural integrity purposes, I chucked a paperclip in.
right.
I just
Okay.
stuffed him like a turkey.
That works as well.
And there you go. It's fine. But okay.
The rest of the room is losing it. Oh, you can't see. Okay, good. Bryce stuffed him like a turkey.
Yeah.
Pulse, what are you gonna make?
Do I get to like make my own little legend? Or
Yeah,
what's
you
going
get to
on
make
here?
whatever you want. So
Okay.
you can make a little legend that you like. You can
Alright.
make one that you would like to see in the game. I'm about to make one that I
One
would
that
like
you
to see
hate?
in the game.
All right, plate me.
Plate you?
Yeah.
Can I see? Do we have the graphic or do we just have a question mark? Because what else do I
I
need
did
to do?
give them the graphic.
Yeah.
I feel like I think that what you've done
I think.
is the reverse of what your thing is.
Oh,
I think
do you
you've
think?
inverted the
Oh
colors.
no, I made a zebra, but instead of being, well, I didn't even know what they are. White with black stripes. He's black with white stripes. That's not even useful.
That's
okay,
not-
his head is.
Look, this is the one. This is
Wait.
the one that I actually
Well,
sent.
no. I want the emo one.
Yeah, no, you want this one.
Wait, these
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
You want that?
adult-proof.
Oh
What is this?
no.
You inverted it.
Oh,
he's got a
it's
white head
backwards.
and he's got a little
yes.
black floaty body.
Oh, he has a little red in his eye.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, I just made
There
a
he
chroma
is.
pack, so Riot can thank me later when this earns them $7 million, because they sell it in the store. But damn. Oh, he's got a little chain thing. Okay, I can add some bling
I'm gonna add this bad boy right here.
from a little friend.
Pulse, what are you gonna make?
Well, as a follower of Nagakaboros, I feel like there's not enough representation of tentacles in League.
Of course.
So
Just
we're
in
gonna
general.
Make, just in general.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to make a tentacle little legend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what you would like to see.
Really
out
Yeah.
of
are
our
in a
game.
Wowie mode.
Got to remain on brand, man.
Is it one tentacle? Is it multiple tentacles?
I'm going to start with one.
Yep.
We're going to have one good tentacle. I'm going to go with the Nick, whatever like that tumor you made was.
Oh right,
That
like
play, yeah.
like
Because I feel like I do actually want that effect with the tentacle.
like looking at him. If you forget he's a penguin,
Yeah.
and if you twist it and think that he's like a nightmare poop, then that is actually that's I achieved the goal.
Yeah.
This is very dry. I don't want to use that stuff.
Do we have grey? We don't have grey.
Yeah, I was looking for grey for the sword before. You could mix white and black together.
Sure, let's do it.
Look at that weird.
It is a nightmare
It's
fuel.
just so horrible on every level.
Kill it.
Like not only the light, but also it appears that his eye is falling off and onto the sword.
He needs to die.
It's just
Die.
no, he can't. It's so disgusting. I'm ashamed. Oh my god, these are so hard. Now we were asking the question: is Play-Doh edible or like? Sorry,
Molding.
Is
molding
molding clay
clay edible?
Mirage.
Is
It's all just smoke and mirrors.
and I looked it up, and it is.
Yeah, well,
Should we try?
It's a kid. Well,
it has
yeah.
to be because like kids are gonna put it in their mouth.
And kids to you are
Just little stupid human.
stupid humans. I'm gonna try some purple.
All right. Do you reckon they have different flavors? Like this one. This
Oh.
one tastes
Are we just eating?
I don't
green.
Think so. I don't
or like
think
this
so.
is
I'll
red
do it.
flavor.
Because wouldn't that then encourage people to eat it?
Surely it is intentionally
go
bad
for,
tasting.
It's like
So that yeah.
It's like how they put it's like how they
definitely
put
a
in cleaning products and stuff. Lots of them they just put horrible smelling and tasting things. So it's like don't drink this.
How much are we eating?
I'm going. I'm
a
thinking.
You got a
sizable amount.
oh
Well,
jeez.
you only get a
Oh,
tiny.
okay.
Oh no, you got a yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing. I mean,
That's pathetic.
oh, this is. I thought we got rid of the chili bets for a reason.
Cheers, gentlemen.
You got blue, purple, green. Cheers.
Oh, so chewy.
Oh. As soon as it hits
Mm.
your mouth, it gets a real like slick mouth feel.
Oh, but okay. The worst thing about this is that I recognize the taste. I definitely ate this as a kid. It's hard to get it down because it's sticky.
It actually changes like flavor
Yes.
as you chew it.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it hits a real bad. I think it's got to be disgusting enough where like it tells kids like they eat
Yeah.
it once and like never again. You know?
That's horrible.
God, that was actually just a bad experience. Why did we do that? We didn't have to do that, and we just did it anyway.
It has a real linger as well.
Yeah.
Like it goes through. You know how like. Yeah, you
That's
know, like a
real
cheese
bad.
where you can go through 3 stages and it has like a nice palate and a
Yeah,
finish
right.
and that sort of thing. It's the opposite of that. Gets slimier and stronger the longer it's been in my body. Can you still taste it?
Yeah.
it's
just stuck to my
fading.
teeth.
My
Can you
mouth,
pass my water, Rusty?
My-
like
my-
legit?
my mouth I have so much saliva in my mouth right now.
Yeah.
like it's.
Yeah, I
it's-
know. That's
It's
true.
Take
Yeah,
the
I'm
label
just
off.
That's true.
salivating.
By the way, I'll
Like in
just
a
point
bad
out,
way.
NA Slacky says 11,000 people can't be wrong watching this. And it's true. Okay, Pulse, it's now time for you to leave us.
Okay.
But you can
I will
take
work on this.
You can take this and work on it during the next game. Do you want me to throw you some more colors?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take more of the same.
What was the same?
I think it was this and this. I'm disgusted by what we just did.
Yeah.
I feel like that was one of those things where we just lowered ourselves for the amusement of Twitch chat.
That we're just like we're yes men in this room,
We're-
and you're just full of crappy ideas.
it's true.
You're just like, oh, this tastes awful. Like, should we eat it? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But Richard just picks up a big glob and is like, yeah, guy, let's
So
go.
true. The bar for me is
Oh.
I just googled will it kill us and Google says no. So let's give it
Yeah.
a shot.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we'll find other things that we can eat in the studio before we head into the next game. And the next game.
Do we not have a Jake? We don't have a replacement.
Oh yeah, he's just gone. I think
He just
he
left,
just walked
and they're on the
upstairs.
2-shot because he's just
amazing.
not here. He's
Uh,
gone.
The next game, Gravitas versus Legacy.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Order. Sorry, Gravitas versus Order. not
Gravitas
Legacy.
versus Order.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So Order.
well-
unhappy about the Direwolves win, I imagine.
I mean, and Gravitas, because the thing is, I was looking at my sheet, I have like the head-to-heads, right? So now AV are the most catchable team in terms of like making it to the gauntlet spot. Direwolves, they're sitting at 9 points.
Yep.
And so Order's looking at that and being like, okay, like there's another one taken off the table. But Order and AV have the head-to-head even. They're tied right now, so when they play later on the split, it will begin to matter. Gravitas, of course, got a loss yesterday, whereas Order got a victory.
Yep.
So they have a 1 point like negative there in their hands, and unfortunately for them, they've got a 0-2. So in terms of playoff implications, very important for both of these guys, but Order have the slight edge in eking them over. So yeah, this is a very, very important one.
Absolutely, and Jake has just settled in here, pretending as though he's been here the entire time, but it is, of course, time for the Macca's Champ Select.
See ya.
I'm honestly
me again.
disturbed. You all just sat there and ate.
Yeah, it's not great.
Molding
I could
dirt.
still taste it, actually. And it's like
It's
slowly
repulsive.
drying out my mouth as well. But like not my throat, but only my mouth. It's Not a recommendable
We don't
experience.
need more yes men's on that table, on that couch. Sorry, Pulse.
Yeah, it's not a good formula. When you were a primary school teacher, did you ever eat Play-Doh or see people eating molding clay?
I worked with 5-year-olds and we
Yeah.
made Play-Doh, so yes.
Yeah, but that's okay though, right? Because it's literally just like flour and water. right?
Yeah, it is basically just flour and water with like a food coloring, so it wasn't bad at all. Definitely not, I don't know what to call this, but like mass-produced versions. As we are getting into the champion select, of course, for the third game here, Pulse.
All right, let's get into this one. So, yeah, Gravitas versus Order. We just had our first, upset, basically, of the weekend here. Gravitas versus Order now coming in. Important game, obviously, for both teams in direct competition. 6 wins and 7 wins, respectively, Gravitas and Order here. And we'll see what they pull out today. Getting the Kiana ban and the Aatrox ban right here. Interesting, obviously, Pablo in the game.
Yeah.
Big Kiana player so far. We have also seen it from other teams, but, I do associate it with Gravitas.
The thing is, we saw Slipper play it yesterday, first of all, right? And he had a
of
very
course.
good game for himself, and that was something that I thought was quite interesting, actually. Order changed up their draft strategy once again yesterday, doing it against Legacy of all teams, unfortunately for them. But at the same time, Gravitas, they play the Kiana top. They may play it mid, but we've only really seen it from them in top lane. And I think more meta from Order, being able to play it in mid lane, something that is clearly accrued respect from Gravitas. So being on the blue side, they've said, we don't really need to get rid of these set champions. Let's just get rid of what they've clearly practiced this week and remove that from the board. Ban the Silas, maybe a first pick of the Sejuani as well. Set yourself up to succeed perhaps with a melee composition yourself and ban away some of the ones that deal with it. But we'll see.
Yep, Yuumi, Lucian, and Yasuo there, bans from Order, and found a ban of Silas as well, so none of that this game. First pick, Corki, out from Gravitas, and Order back over to them. It will be a Nautilus first pick, actually, in response here, and looking towards their second pick on red side.
Lucian not available, so you may not, unfortunately, be able to see that one for Dream. Locked in early. Tristana is actually up if you wanted to pick something into the Corki with Lucian banned. You could always try and follow, but this is also, of course, the standard, I would say, in bot laners that go with the Nautilus now. So they'll see that one. Also makes it very hard for Gravitas in response to consider something like the Sivir. So you're not going to see that with the Nautilus available. You just pick a gank jungler and murder her constantly at level 6. So you might even see the Ezreal Braum or the Zarya Rakan, which is the other option from Gravitas. But even the Zarya Rakan, which I think Zarya is the best answer into Nautilus because you counter his ultimate, but you have to ult when he ults. So you don't actually get to outplay any damage, just the crowd control that will guarantee hitting. So while it is, theoretically the best matchup because the Naut ult doesn't hit you, you're not doing damage with it.
Yeah,
right? You're not actually outplaying with it, you're just dodging. And so that's still pretty advantageous for your opponents if they have more than one tool of engage.
Sure. Yeah, Order also picking up the Kai'Sa alongside that. Of course, we just saw a Kai'Sa game with a mid lane Kai'Sa. Delivers Jira in response. Order picking up the Jace, it looks like. I believe that has been locked in. And yeah, we're going into the bans. It will be an Aurelia ban out against Gravitas.
Yeah, really taken off. We'll see what else they choose to go for here. Of course, Sejuani is still available. And 4-5 pick, Aurelia Sedge would have been pretty powerful. The Yasuo removed, however, does get rid of the Gragas Yasuo combo. And we're looking at junglers potentially for Praelis. I'm very curious to see where he chooses to go now. And if it's something like perhaps the Lee Sin, because they really do need a frontliner. Someone to help the Rakan go forwards. A bruiser or a frontliner is what Gravitas really need to round their comp out. Maybe something early game in top lane would be ideal.
Yeah, maybe. Renekton also coming out here. Sejuani ban as well. Makes a lot of sense with a lot of those bruisers still available. And yeah, looking towards the final ban now from Gravitas. We are looking for solo lane ban and jungle here.
Yeah, the Renekton ban's interesting. You could potentially wait to see what Order go for in their fourth pick. You'd expect it's the jungler, however, so they are just going to try and ban out some what you would perceive as counters to Parbu's champion that he'll be locking in. So getting rid of the Renekton, just a strong early game champion, perhaps removing a scaling option, and then another very early game champion has also been banned here away from Spooks. Makes you wonder what they will be going towards in top lane as a pick.
Yeah, Xin Zhao was the final ban there towards Spooks, and always have the temptation to be like Xin Zhao, right?
Xin Zhao, yeah.
After spending time in China.
Well, his name's actually backwards. Zhao
yeah,
Xin.
right.
Just fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact though. Yeah. I was just letting that one breathe, as it might be a revelation for people. Xin Zhao, one of the original champions. And yeah, Order picking up Gragas here. And looking towards Gravitas now. Yeah, I mean, there's actually so many bruises just taken away now. Camille, one of the last remaining solo laners really here for Pabu.
And this would be the least surprising pick from Gravitas, with the Renekton taken off the board as well. So, also with the Xin Zhao actually has a couple of tools to deal with Camille's hookshot.
Yeah.
So pretty good ban actually, and honestly with this lock-in, while the counter is still there for Tally, they got rid of one of the hardest matchups, and we'll have to see where Tally chooses to go now in regards to counters, because I am going to sit here and just openly say to the end of time that I would want someone to pick Poppy, because I think Poppy hard counters it. But there's also a world where it's just the Jace going top lane and Swiffer picks something instead.
Yeah, very, very possible. Jarvan picked up here for Gravitas for their jungle, and yeah, we are now looking towards order. Wow, okay, Vladimir will come in here with Jace picked up. So yeah, top lane or mid lane, probably going to be top lane here, I would imagine, here on the Jace. And throwing the Corki mid lane into, into the Jace in mid lane.
So with the compositions complete here, the one thing that stands out to me is that mid lane is very important for Order, because he is really the only physical damage that will be guaranteed to be there for them, and the only real early game strength that is guaranteed to be there for them, besides, of course, the Gragas. So I look at Order and I feel like mid lane's a big deal. Now, their opponents have gone for the Corki, they have gone for the scaling option, so they are actually pretty well set up to succeed here in regard to their own draft. Where looking at Gravitas, they've finished their composition with some more engage, so if there's one thing they have, it's engage. And when the Corki has package, it's even more engage. So I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a pretty fast and loose game of League of Legends from our blue side team here if they get their way, and particularly if they get their level 6s, they get their package timings, and they get summoner spells burned from their opponents. I think that's when it really rains down on Order.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, again, super important game coming in here for the two teams in direct competition. You know, this is one of the few games of the weekend actually where we're actually getting to see people in that kind of group of 4 go up against each other here. So yeah, obviously taking a point and knocking a point off your opponent, super important. As we get into this one, we have Jubes joining us. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. A little bit under the weather, but we'll make it through. Yeah.
Yeah? To do with League of Legends or just outside?
Oh, no, I'm just a little bit sick, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
It's just the wind and the cold wind.
Yeah, I'm
as well.
sorry.
yeah. Working it was a nightmare this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, how are you feeling about this game, though? Obviously, direct competition with Order coming in here.
Yeah, I think Order have become like our unspoken rivals, I guess. It feels like towards the end of every season, we're competing with them for a spot. I mean, there's obviously teams above us we're competing with too, but for the most part, yeah, it's like it feels like a grudge match kind of thing. Yeah.
You come into this week and you've got a pretty hard game yesterday, of course, but you still look pretty fantastic, honestly, against Mammoth. You took it to them quite a bit, and you know that kind of performance yesterday, even in a loss. How were the boys? Were they really pumped, even with the result?
It was so weird because it was like I actually don't think we played that poorly, and I think there was a lot of positives to take away from the game. I think if we weren't versing like a top 3 team and we played that way, I think we probably win. I mean, that's kind of like a blanket statement, but yeah, a lot of the boys were like, even though we were behind and we were playing from behind, we're pretty happy with how we played. Let's not get behind. So as you can see already, we've made some adjustments. We haven't died level 1. So going into the early game, we're even.
Infinitely better.
Yeah.
And you also got to see Order play yesterday. So, with a bit of differences in their draft, perhaps to what has been seen from them recently, was there any real revelations or learnings that you guys had as a team?
I think that Legacy game was hard to take anything from. Like, Order played the game very well, and I think also, yeah, maybe I spoke too soon about no one being dead.
Yeah, Dredge
So
lane.
he can start.
Onto bottom lane.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
should
happy
be
with
good.
that. That's actually really good for us, I think. Anyway, no, yeah, it was a bit hard to take much from it because like
really hard
Order
to
played
talk.
very well. Order played very well. Legacy didn't play the best, and it was kind of like an open mid game.
Yeah.
But this point into the season, I know that, like, I've played against that team majority of my career. I know them, and I know their habits, tendencies, and picks. So there was nothing like to learn. Everything here I see here is pretty standard and expected.
Yeah, fair. And now we're coming into the last couple games of the season. Obviously, race for playoffs for like a good 4 teams of the OPL right now. Who would you put in? If you were just to stop right here.
Obviously, I'll put us in it. Well, I think the saving grace or the good thing that we have is we have the head-to-head against Direwolves. So let's fast forward. Say we win this game. We verse Direwolves and Legacy next week. Let's say, since we have the 2-0 against Direwolves, let's say we win both of those. Then, we may be pushing for 4th. Like,
Yeah, true.
all right, but obviously we got to win this game first. So yeah, I mean, I think we go in there, and then I think it's so like potentially there's a 4-man tiebreaker because AV's got the head-to-head against us, and then we've got the head-to-head against Direwolves, and maybe Order. Like, I don't know.
This is one of
Yeah,
the hardest
I don't
questions
know.
you'll ever get
Yeah,
asked,
I
right?
genuinely don't
Yeah.
know.
We
That's
had
your
a-
answer.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
We had
Which
a
is a great answer
conversation
itself.
with like producers and stats teams, like, can we make a big foldy sheet? And they said no.
No.
There's just too
Yeah,
many
no, you're not.
options.
You're not-
A3.
Yeah, you're not getting one of those.
Ooh, getting the flash off Spooks right here. Hayri
Nice.
also rotating from top side, and that's first blood. And,
This is.
yeah.
I think this is maybe the first time my team has ever had a net gain of me being interviewed. So I want to thank both of you.
Yeah, no worries, James. You know, thanks for joining us. Yeah, take it easy.
It was also one of the hardest times to have an interview because from level 1 there was an orders flashing forward.
Yeah.
Like, I can only imagine what it's like being asked a question, but watching fights such as this happening immediately, because all you could think about is, I hope this works, I hope this is good.
Yeah, exactly.
What's happening?
And not even like straight one way as well. It's just like literally this could go either way. I'm
Yeah.
not sure how this is going to turn out, and it's a bit of a clencher. Mid lane, a lot of harass going down onto Swiffer actually. Pabu definitely getting the best of that matchup currently, as Spook's going down into the bottom side of the map currently, looking towards this Rift Scuttler. Prelis also doing the same on top side. I'm just seeing a bit of a rotation now here from the bottom lane from Gravitas actually.
So I'll hold you there. We should take a quick stock take. We've lane swapped on Gravitas' side with Pabu in mid. Big deal, because in draft we mentioned, you know, Jace, pretty important part of the composition for Order in the early game. You know, he should be able to have an advantage against the Corki.
Yep.
That gives a lot of freedom to the Gragas, you know, to then make aggressive plays, do a half clear, get his boots. But when you actually think back to what happened in this game, blue start, a lot of early aggression from Order on that side, trying to defend their jungler. And then he goes towards his red, gets invaded now, and goes down and gets killed. So he's been level 2 for a long time. It is 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and he may get it off that wolf camp. Like, it's not exactly the best day to be the Gragas right now, which means mid lane not always going to be as free to be as aggressive as he would like, because it's not always safe to be running around on the Rift. But I think this is the first real moment. You know, he's got the boots. He's actually got level 3, where he can be active on the Rift. And you can see Swiffer hovering a little bit as well, as of course Pabu's just going to let them have some free money.
Yeah, spot it. Up over the wall. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, gets the knock-up onto Dream. He'll flash away. Drake clogging up this bottom lane right now, starting them to really kill Dream. But still, a lot of harass down this that bottom laner. Forces the flash in exchange for Ignite. Pretty good trade here from Gravitas in the 2 versus 2.
Absolutely. Bot lane is the other place that we need to look at, as Praelis is going to make his way down. Gragas not nearby. Spook's not nearby, so you'll see Order leave the turret, potentially, if they believe that the dive is conceivable. They're, of course, going to try and bait now, maybe get some chunk onto him, but could hurt them.
Finds him, flag drag. Jake backing away, doesn't have flash.
Whoa.
Flash out from Raid, actually, as Spooks comes into the bottom lane, and that will be another kill. 2 kills start this game to Gravitas.
And really big for Gravitas. And again, think back to level 1. What happened here, the flash was from Nautilus trying to go for the hook. All they had to do to defuse that Gravitas was start E as Rakan. Very simple stuff from them. They hit level 4. Lane's been going well. Praelis with his advantage in jungle brings a bot. And suddenly, Gravitas commanding the game.
Wow. Yes, more interaction right there. Swiffer knocking Pabu out of his hook shot. Prevents the knockback and the damage there. So big deal. Otherwise, that would have been a major trade over to Pabu.
Anyone who's played against Jace knows that he takes priority over everything in the game, honestly.
Yeah, you posted the clip the other way on Twitter of me.
Lissandra
knocking back
claw?
Lissandra. Yeah.
It actually knocks them back from the full distance of a Lissandra claw, because why not?
Back to original destination. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. I believe Jace still has the highest priority in the game in terms of the knockback, followed by Urgot, I believe,
Urgot
as the
E?
second. Yeah, Urgot Disdain.
Yeah.
And just nothing overrides them. You know, back in the day, it used to be like Ezreal and Tristana for their
Tristana,
own
buffer.
displacements.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Buster Shot, of course. But yeah, there's just a strange priority list, and it's important to note because obviously that swung mid lane as we actually have a gank on with Ultimatum. Hayri moving to mid lane as well, flashes for it, comes in with a fast bomb, and cool guys, don't look at the explosions.
Yeah, just a little dog ball thrown at the end there. Is able to pick up his target. No teleport used from Hayri to get to mid lane. He was able to just walk down the river. And that is one of the things that does happen, of course, when you've got a Vladimir against a Corki in top lane. Pretty much just scaling players. But very early, Corki, of course, has a little bit more wave clear. Gatling gun, Phosphorus bomb being available. So that freedom lets him come mid, lets him have the cool guys queue and gets an extra kill. And now it's 3-0. for Gravitas. And that is a significant goal difference at 7 minutes more than anything else.
I mean, you called it in Champions League, right? We're going to see a team who's going to come out swinging. We're talking more about fights, but right now, I mean, like, we're looking at lane trade skirmishes in lane, and 3 kills to start us off with a 2.5 gold lead right now with utter control over the map. Top lane is ahead by a couple of ways, plus 2 kills on top lane Corki. You know, like, how many times do you see top lanes get involved in that many fights? Not very often. And this will be a heavily accelerated. Corki goes back to base, picks up Sheen and Boost plus Phage.
And that also is at 7 minutes and 50 seconds in the game. So there was a chance where instead of going towards lane, he just walked back and got his package, as I believe that spawns at 8 minutes. But he's already committed to walking towards his laning phase. So next reset, perhaps, we'll see that coming out from Hayri, and that's also an opportunity to be very active onto the Rift. One of my favorite things to watch from certain Corki players around the world. Now, Rookie is the one that I'll use as an example because I just really like Rookie. Is every time he picks up package on Corki, it's for a dragon, or like it's for a reason. There is no reason to just pick up the package to walk back to lane faster with the home guards it provides, and then just use it on a wave if there's an objective to get it. Bot lane's on. Yeah, great block on the dredge line there towards Jake, hoping maybe his jungler could catch up a little bit faster, but Prayers was caught on the ward there, so Jace has to turn around, clears one out, and it will be a null trade right there, but so a little bit down onto support is not to scoff that, as Prayers will just wipe out all the wards in bottom lane, in fact. But yeah, Jake does have his flashback. Dream still without his Swiffer. Moving down, will catch Prayless in his rotation. Good from Swiffer though.
Blast,
very good. He may lose these wards, but what he does do is provide vision. So he spots Prayless, which means bot lane is safe. They're not being dove. And that's the thing that Prayless has earned, right? He's earned the right to find Swiffer in the river because he's cleared the bot side vision. Spooks also was able to get a reset off as a result of it, knowing that the dive isn't there. The only concern for Order is right now, there's only topside camps available. Spooks really wants level 6 because he's behind in experience, and Gravitas can still look for the dive. No teleports though, so it will just be 3 people unless they send Camille early. And Jace doesn't have control of mid because Prayless cleared his wards.
Yep. And Prayless just chilling in the jungle right now, level 5 Northless. Just stepping back away from the tower, and that opens up 2 plates for the bottom lane of Decoy and Raid. Feeling very good. Kill on this Xayah as well, so Roan pulling ahead mid lane. Still just trading blows, and yeah, I mean, like, it's actually very interesting to see how Camille deals in mid lane. Obviously, there are, you know, very much protruding walls that she can use for hook shot into Jace, and we just saw that interaction with Thundering Blows. So I would definitely put it as a skill matchup. I don't know what your opinion is on the matchup, but I will ask in a second. As Spooks is going towards this top lane, level 6 versus level 9.
There's a world where Spooks dies.
He's very low, hits him with a CC chain, now looking to back away, low on mana. Tally stepping up as well as the Hemoplague running. Hayri almost getting that kill in return, but without vision, Spooks cuts it off and finds the kill.
And Spooks was 3 levels down with no completed jungle item, so he has to flash, has to try and get out, and does barely scrape his way to safety. The trade's going to happen on the bottom side of the map. Order very aware, clearly, that it's not a safe place to stand. So they're going to actually lose the entire turret you would expect here with only 1 plate remaining. And it was a cannon wave tanking. Kaiser's also returning back to bottom lane. Dream, nowhere else really to go. And I still think this is a devastating start for Order, considering even though Spooks, against the flow, it feels like, makes that play and only barely scrapes out alive.
Yeah, could have very much been a 1-for-1 in the top lane, to be honest. And yeah, still, Order in a bit of a rough situation. Have just started to hit item spikes here. Swiffer picking up the Ghost Blade, top lane. Hayri actually moving back here once again, but does have the completed Triforce at 11 minutes plus boots, which is very fast. If anyone who's played like a Triforce lane, you're expecting it around 13, 14 minutes. 11 is very quick, especially with other items as well with boots.
Yeah, you're happy with like a 12-minute with brown bags is like pretty good luxury type of purchase. And that's if you've been freely farming. You know, Kleptomancy is an item that comes on Corki's get as well. But yeah, 12 minutes, pretty good mark to hit. 11 minutes is very fast, and with the package up, I would like to see some movements down river, but Order are very heavily controlling that right now.
At the very least, he is going to trade here with Tani, clear away that control wards and just move back to the wave, still controlling this top side. The rest of Order, though, we have 5 members on the top side of the map here.
Yeah,
as they are looking towards Herald.
So Rift Herald is not just the play they ideally need to pick before it. I don't actually think they're fighting fit to force the Herald even with the map flip. Prayless is currently missing off the map, so he's invisible, but Raid caught.
Raid caught, flashes away, but here's Prayless, tosses out the ultimate onto Swiffer. He's now trapped as Pabu flashes in and follows through with the ultimatum over the wall. Very slick coming out from that mid laner.
Spooks has completely sprinted away. He may actually even cross between lanes here just so they can't catch him. If they continued to chase him, they would have got him on the recall. So safe move here from Spooks, but that means Dragon completely dejected by Order, and Hayri's here anyway because they watched him cross through mid.
He's just going to catch him here, and I don't think there's any getting away
Good
from
flash.
this. Flashes, and make sure that he rides the shockwave towards the Gragas and gets the kill. Jake was also coming down, but unable to save his ally, and Hayri gets himself his 3rd kill of the game.
Yeah, the cask was just a taxi, unfortunately, for that Corki to get there. Spooks going down now 0-2. And while Dream's looking, he's protecting his Kai'Sa, he's hovering in the area. He doesn't know that there's someone else here.
Yep, Jake does not hit the dredge line, still gets the aftershock proc, and now pushing into the tower. Will take a tower shot, goes into the stopwatch, and Tally. That is a great Hemo Plague. His support dies, but now chasing onto Decoy, looking for his 2nd kill.
Oh,
What?
no.
Finds him underneath the tower, and Dream cannot follow through onto this one.
And
That'll be
Raid's,
3
oh
kills.
god, he had to stopwatch. Raid's just cackling down at the bottom of the screen as well. He's like, what is what is happening up here, guys?
What is going on?
They've teleported, they've flashed Vladimir ulted, they've used everything, they've thrown the kitchen sink barring flashes from both bottom laners, and they win the trade.
What a disaster, Rusty. We're 8-2 at 13 minutes here. We take a look at mid lane, I believe.
We
yeah,
missed something.
kicked off
There's
here.
got to be a reason that Raid was laughing so hard. And what happens? What is so funny? That's not really funny. It must be top lane.
It must have been top lane, yeah, what we were looking at. I think he probably had time to like get that kill, look top, and that's what he was laughing at. But yeah, I mean, this is brutal. Like, look at the gold right now. This is insanity. This is what, over a 7,000 gold lead at 14 minutes? 2 towers, pushing on top tower as well. This is going to knock over to about an 8k gold lead.
Actually, just missing a plate there, Harry, as well, though. So, unfortunately, an opportunity for even more gold just missed.
160 down the drain,
I mean,
but who really cares?
This game's nuts. This game has been like, everything Juves has said is correct. Everything that we've said in draft has been true, right? Like, we expected a much more aggressive start. Just fast and loose was what I termed it as for Gravitas. We've seen the fast style since level 1, but it was also in response to, you know, Order make a play, and Gravitas was smart enough to be able to make the response, you know, in accordance to Summoner spells being missing. So, honestly, it is good stuff from them. You have to compliment them for the play. This doesn't ever feel like this doesn't feel like the same Order we watched yesterday.
No, it does not. Looks like a different team, but you know, Gravitas, like we're talking about ramping, and I feel like just kind of in the background, Gravitas have been ramping up right now, and yeah, this is their game to lose 100% with such a big advantage. We'll see if Order can do anything to stymie this.
I think they're still going to
onslaught
look here.
from
Pabu's
Gravitas.
hunting.
Gets him with the hook shot and half health him straight up. He's just dead. 2-0 now on that Camille.
I think it's pretty shocking, honestly. Pabu was able to get off the hookshot and the Q, so animation cancelling in there, I think, as well with the Jace knockback. Doesn't actually get priority this time, as Rift Herald Summer, top inner in jeopardy. The rest of Gravitas not nearby, however, so I don't know if this turret just drops.
Yeah,
There's
it's a
chance
3
it
versus
doesn't.
3. It's still a big old chunk, but yeah, with Raids in the mid lane pushing up to tower, it's probably just going to be like small wins across the map here. Hayri also just harassing down Tally, but they will get a good amount of damage in this mid lane tower as well. Gragas kind of caught on this rotation more northless actually, as Jake turns around for a hot second, but takes a bunch of damage out from that Camille. True damage. Mid lane half health that one as well, courtesy of Raid.
Yeah, Predator being used by Spooks to try and force them back, dissuade them if possible, push them away. And, you know, right now, while that's happening, I was about to say, the only place to me that feels oddly vulnerable is the Corki, because he hasn't gone Hex Drinker, but goes back and picks it up before I can even say it. So very much on the ball here. There's the side of Gravitas with their itemization.
Yeah, I mean, we almost haven't had a second even to talk, because Pablo again just going to jump on top lane. It's just the ultimatum. Comes out with the tactical sweep now underneath this tower, finishes him up. Might be the kill though. Yeah, we'll get the kill in return. Shut down gold, also going over to the Jace.
Yeah, not exactly worth it there from Mr. Pablo in the middle lane. Sorry, in top lane. He's just mid lane on my scoreboard, so there you go.
He was a mid laner.
He was. He's a top laner.
Turn the crowd back into his natural habitat though.
Not a worthwhile 1-for-1 if there's a shutdown on your head. I think he actually got it from the kill, so
Yeah.
you know, that's one of those things that he probably didn't have taken into account. But nevertheless, Swiffer cannot complain with a 1-for-1 in that situation. Didn't have the flash to use either. Neither did though.
But this is, you know, hugely problematic. You know, like you have a team with Vladimir on it, and you're obviously looking towards like that timer when you hit like, you know, 35, 40 minutes. But like this is looking like a, you know, like a 25-minute like rush you down, take the towers and finish off the game type situation here for Gravitas.
The snowball is large enough. The Herald was useful. Mid and top lane are half HP on their inner turret, so there is an opportunity for like even a trade, you know, to be a snowball of more control over the map. And if either of those turrets are broken, as a precursor to the Baron buff being available, even harder for Order to get to that area. And that's one of the hardest things to do in a game of League, like in a competitive game of League, is to come back from behind because of the vision control and denial that they can put onto you, right? Yep. Because even the Raptors are being denied from the vision that Gravitas have got. If you didn't see that one, Zaya stole that with a QE. But yeah, how do they get to Baron? How do they get to Baron when all the inners are dead, right? That makes it impossible. It means every move you make is a risk, and that's where teams beat you.
Every move you make and every step you take. Pabu was trying to get
Ult
away
the
from
body
this
slam. Oh, he flashed
it, yeah. Didn't even burn the flash there, Spooks, either, so that's just a net positive win there for Order in the top side, but still not a kill. There are a lot of on-the-way pings into mid lane. Gravitas potentially looking for an opportunity, toss out the flag, threatening Dream and Jake underneath this tower.
If I were a betting man, I feel like Pabu would have at least 1-for-1 traded there. Oh, actually, no, he's got stopwatch. No, good call from Pabu.
Yeah. Doesn't go for the fight the second time around, and yeah, still this Corki and Tally matchup in the bottom lane. Harry just putting it to him. And just this prolonged laning phase for Vladimir is something he would really like to get out of.
Just chipping away.
But yeah, just chipping away at that tower. It's a slow win in that bottom side. Gravitas
now he's
up
here.
in
They
brush.
might actually go.
Flash the wall, double charm, double knockup, and it's into the bouncy castle with them. 2 kills over to Gravitas and mid lane tower.
And that's just a sick play from Gravitas as a team. They get bot priority. They get blue side vision control. They look for the engage in mid lane. And it just looks pretty coming out of them, right? You've got the flash ult from Decoy. And now who's next in line? It's Tally. They're going to look for him.
Total wrap around. We'll go into the Sanguine Pool, but you can't float through that one. You'll have to flash it into the Cataclysm. Gets the flash for that one into the top lane. Power in the 2 versus 1, just back into it. Tries to disengage, can't quite catch up to Swiffer, and will eventually fall. But the rest of the team getting a lot of work done on the opposite side of the map.
Definitely glad I didn't bet on that one in retrospect. It was still close, however. He went for the Jace, but now a second kill is given over to Order. So a bit of purchase perhaps bought on the top side of the map for vision. No turret falling in top side, so saving grace there perhaps for the side of Order. But they'll get the scuttle, they'll place some wards, maybe. You'll get 1 or 2 around the area, but the way Order play this out is you want to place wards where they don't get cleared.
Yeah.
That's a very hard thing to do when someone has such a large amount of control.
And now we're just about to crest the 20-minute mark, and we have almost a 10,000 gold lead here to Gravitas. And take a look at the gold as well. Yeah, a lot of that on the Corki. About 3,000 on him.
Yeah.
Bottom lane almost the same, to be honest.
I mean, it's 10,000 at 20 minutes, so pretty much everybody's going to be ahead. It's not an easy game for any team to come back from. Doesn't matter who you are, Mammoth or Chiefs, in a situation like this. And Gravitas looked good yesterday against Mammoth from behind. You know, something that Juice was able to mention in the interview. So get them ahead, see what happens. And now we get to see, you know, how well can Gravitas close out with a lead this large.
Yeah, absolutely. Stacking up in the jungle on a control ward once again. Hayri going to be showing in vision, but the rest of the team opens up onto Spooks here. Flag drag onto Jake. In comes Dream and Swift.
Order taking the fight.
Praelis is blocking up this entire choke point right now. He flashes away. Hemo Plague's on. Power jumps back on towards them. Ultimatum onto the backline, but he's dead. Raid following through and gets himself another double kill for the top laner. Hayri chasing for more. Decoy too low to dive. And it will be a 3-for-1.
And this should be able to go back to Baron. Now, they don't have a whole lot of health, but Rakan provides plenty with the Q cooldown being so low, as you can see. So they're going to go for this Baron buff. Jace, really the only hope here, you would have to say, from Order, as to if they can do anything here. And honestly, I think it's just a steal attempt.
It's got to be maybe he gets a kill into Decoy / Praelis, but not in the right place. And that is Baron going over to Gravitas. And they are not decelerating in this game.
No, it doesn't even look for the steal. Swiffer just tries to chunk them out, perhaps see if they're doing it. And he finds out that they are, and it's already gone. There's 21 minutes in. The gold lead has grown to 12,000. And for me, this is one of the best case fights for the side of Order, because they watched everybody walk in here to this bush. They know it's a 4v5. They know Zaya's not going to be there. But the difference in strength is just so large that realistically, even with that 4v5, Gravitas buy enough time and trade well enough. The second raid's here, fight over, disengage, Baron's theirs.
And that goal lead is only getting bigger and bigger and bigger. 12,000 over to Gravitas as they're just doing the dirty work, taking the waves and pushing them in slowly. And yeah,
he's hunting. They know he's here. He might
in the turrets. Hayri.
Oh, he doesn't. Ah, Jake sneaks away.
Yeah, he gets out of this one alive and safe. But yeah, this is kind of calm before the storm because the siege is about to start here from Gravitas with this Baron in probably 3 lanes. Now actually Pabu backing away from that top side, but mid lane and bottom lane being sieged in.
Yeah, well, I don't think you need to play 3 lanes, right? I think going for 3 lanes is a little bit greedy because there's a chance you trade. With the Baron buff, you don't really need to do that. You should be, if you're Gravitas right now, you should be starting, resetting with the Baron buff and saying 2 inhibs is the goal. How are we going to get those 2 inhibitors? Well, we have a Corki constantly side laning who honestly probably can still 1v1 that Vladimir. That's good for us, right? Because our 4v4 has a lot of threat. And Order, I think they can clear waves okay, but probably not well enough to be able to deal with like clearing waves when they have no control over the map. So right now it's get vision control, pick 2 lanes probably, and just have the 3rd lane as a slow push. So if you look at the minimap right now in top lane, that to me is a slow push. In about a minute, that goes.
Oh, Tali getting caught out, the Vladimir into the Sanguine pool. Wants to try and survive, gets a lot of help back from the ultimate, and also the pop there from the Q. And Tali somehow survives that onslaught there. Gravitas now looking towards this mid lane tower. It's down to half. Finding it difficult to step up to the tower, though.
They've got it.
Yeah, that pseudo-tank Tali unable to do anything else here for the team. And this will be the first inhibitor, so 50% completion here on that double inhibitor push here for Gravitas.
Yeah, inhib number 1 falls. Pabu recalls because he has the teleport as well, and he may even consider teleporting to top lane, which is where he's going, as that was the wave that was going to be slow pushing towards his opponent's towers. So he's going to threaten it, but he can't just straight up go for it until someone on Order shows. So he was waiting a little bit. Teleport comes in from the 2nd member of Gravitas, and now they're going to be very aggressively pushing, perhaps to buy space for Pabu, who wants to split.
Yeah, the siege has not stopped. 4-man push on the bottom side. Order kind of feel like they have to just go for this one, but Gravitas are just playing with them, pulling back, staying out of engage range. Oh, Jake just knocked down to half. A lot of damage coming in from this Corki as well. This is another wave from going down top lane. Tali is dealing with the Camille, or at least trying to. And this cannon also putting the damage down. Another wave coming in shortly.
I just don't know who can deal with this onslaught. As long as the Baron buff is there, Gravitas can continue to do this. Hayri's got rapid fire cannon. Tower falls. Tali's just desperately looking for a flank with Spooks. He does have the ultimate back up. He does have flash back up. 100 stacks as well on his Spellbinder. There is an opportunity. They're flashing.
Jake flash. Good response there from Raid and just shuts down to support where he stands. Swiffer and Tali both caught in this one. Flash out into the Hemoplague. Tali, does he have the damage? Raid is dead. And Order are now pushing into the rest of Gravitas. Praelis is low, but Dream, he needs to put out this damage. He's dead. And so is the rest of Order. That's lights out. 5 for 1, triple kill for Hayri, and Gravitas push in, will take this win.
A 25-minute victory here for Gravitas against Order, a crucial game for them in Week 9 as well, and they're able to get the victory and get themselves closer to playoffs. After tanking the fountain.
Tanking the fountain, padding the stats, and finishing off the game 25 minutes, and Gravitas run over Order.
Yeah, wasn't even close, Pulse.
No, it was not.
From the first moment in the game, when the Nautilus flashes to hit the hook, there was a Summoner Spell disadvantage, and it felt like that disadvantage just kept piling on, became a 10,000 gold lead at 20 minutes, and suddenly the game was just done. And now we have ourselves, I'm going to say, it's still possible that we get the 4-way tie that no one really wants, but also everyone also really wants because you don't want to be out of playoffs. I don't know, man. It's just we're just a weird spot, aren't we?
Yeah, this is craziness. So Direwolves take the win over Mammoth. Now Gravitas with a win over Order as well. And yeah, obviously huge deal for them. Direct competitors. And I was just like Mad Max Fury Road, just like accelerating to the finish line, 25 minutes. And, you know, Order were pretty much unable to do anything.
Yeah, no, didn't feel like the same Order that we saw yesterday against Legacy.
Yeah,
they were
said it during the game too.
Pretty much just defeated. But I want to commend Gravitas more than anything else. I think that, you know, the early aggressive style of play gave them leads, but they still had scaling options. You know, the Corki planted into a side lane was a pretty big deal, helped them snowball the game out well, but they gave him resources through the early game jungler and early game players that were on the team. They swapped lanes very well as well to try and get proper assignments, you know, to match the scaling champions, play the aggressive Camille so Jace can't snowball. I think Gravitas played a very good game of League of Legends, and that's, again, one step closer to the playoffs, another good showing from a middle-of-the-pack team. such a crazy week 10 is about to happen in Super Week.
Yeah, I mean, precisely that, right? We've been talking about it, you know, here and there, but there's very much the potential for a 3-way and a 4-way tie, right, between these people trying to get into playoffs. And it could be final day, could also be tiebreaks as well, which will happen potentially on Sunday after Super Week if we are in that situation.
The only thing that has gone against like expected results for a 4-way tie is that Dials won. Like they got an upset win. Besides that upset win, where we were still very much on track for just 4 teams with an equal win-loss record, not knowing who's going to make it.
Yeah, exactly. And because of the head-to-heads as well, you know, you go down and you're just like, okay, are you able to eke it out? But a lot of even head-to-heads as well. So you just don't know. You know, it could be final day, final game to really decide what happens in the end. So yeah, for now, we are going to send it over to Nick Boy with a player interview.
Dominant, decisive, snowbally, sitting on this couch. These are all words I would use to describe Pralus.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
You guys literally, and I mean this literally, never took your foot off the accelerator that game.
Yeah, that game it felt really easy to play. Once we got the lead, we just knew how we play. We just play basic, macro, just don't make mistakes, and it's a pretty free win for us.
Were you expecting that level of success that early?
Not really. Like, we've struggled with order in the past. Like last split, we lost Gauntlet to them. So we were definitely like not expecting it, but we're happy with how things ended up.
I think that like you could feel the confidence coming through the screen from you guys. It just felt like there was barely a misstep. In that scenario, does it become less of like we're talking through what's about to happen and more we're just like vibing? Like we just know?
Yeah, there's a point where it just becomes fun. It's like somewhat stress-free. Like the ball's in their court now. Like it's on them to like try and make a play, and we just have to like respect it. So the tools, like we have everything going for us. It's just chill, and we know how to close out a game.
And so now you've got Direwolves and AV ahead of you. Yeah. You're going to need to knock someone off. Who are you hoping for?
We're hoping Direwolves because we have the head-to-head versus Direwolves. I believe we lost it versus AV.
Yep.
So we need Direwolves to drop the ball.
Okay. Well, I won't say fingers crossed because I'm a neutral. But, you know, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
What's the jersey?
Oh, I don't know the name of the jersey.
You guys have been in this scenario a lot.
This is
like,
a spotted
you come
jersey.
In here, there's an interview. You know I'm going to talk about the fact that you all wear whack jerseys every single game. It's a spotted jersey?
Yeah, it's a spotted jersey that they can get at gravitas.gg/membership.
Tell you what, you don't know the name, but you know the spiel. Yep. Now, I just want to know, is Decoy avoiding me?
No, I don't know what it is, but Decoy, he exerts himself a lot and then gets like pretty sick after a game. Like he just gets exhausted.
This is the second time I've gotten word from the producers that Decoy's sick, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Literally just saw him play a game of League of Legends. Do you think maybe I could organize some sort of pre-interview with him?
Well, yeah,
like before the game.
Yeah, that would be a lot better because you need to rely on us winning. So.
Well, don't talk. Come on. You just stomped. This should be when you have your most confidence, and you're like, yeah, but we're probably never.
You've got 3 more interviews to go. So
okay, good work. Well, I expect to never see him. Finally, favorite TFT Little Legend?
League of Legends?
No,
Little Legend. I forgot what it was called. It's like the harrowing one, I think.
Yeah,
it's some green one.
The Hauntling. Yeah.
I got that the other day.
Yeah, okay. So that's nice. And if you could put any Little Legend into the game, what would it be?
Oh, I have no clue. Like, I don't know, some Poro? I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I was going to say Baby Decoy, but, you know.
Yeah, sure.
I never get my way with him. All right, we'll be back after this.
He's hovering in the area. He doesn't know that there's someone else here.
Yep, Jake does not hit the dredge line, still gets the aftershock proc. And now pushing into the tower, will take a tower shot, goes into the stopwatch on Tally. That is a great Hemo Plague. His support dies, but now chasing onto Decoy, looking for his second kill.
Oh, no.
Finds him underneath the tower. and Dream cannot follow through onto this one.
And
That'll be
Raid's,
3
oh
kills.
god, he had to stopwatch. Raid's just cackling.
Gravitas
Now he's
stacking up in
here,
this
they
rush.
might actually go.
Flash the wall, double charm, double knock up, and it's into the bouncy castle with them. 2 kills over to Gravitas and mid lane tower. And Trollwood once again. Hayri going to be showing in vision, but the rest of the team opens up onto Spooks here. Flag drag onto Jake. In comes Dream and Swift.
Order
They step
taking the
up,
fight.
but Praelis is blocking up this entire choke point right now. He flashes away. Hemo Plague's on. Power jumps back on towards them. Ultimatum onto the backline, but he's dead. Raid following through and gets himself another double kill for the top laner. Hayri chasing for more. Decoy too low to dive.
Kinda. There is an opportunity, they're flashing.
Jake flash, good response there from Raid, and just shuts down to support where he stands. Swiffer and Tally both caught in this one. Flash out into the Hemo Plague. Tally, does he have the damage? Raid is
One
dead.
dead.
And Order are now pushing into the rest of Gravitas. Praelis is low, but Dream, he needs to put out this damage. He's dead, and so is the rest of Order. That's lights out. 5 for 1, triple kill for Hayri, and Gravitas push in, will take this win.
A 25-minute victory here for Gravitas against Order. A crucial game for them in Week 9 as well. And they're able to get the victory and get themselves closer to playoffs. After tanking the fountain.
Tanking the fountain, padding the stats, and
You gave me this when we were just 16 years old. Darling, cop up.
A little goes a long way at Macca's. Grab 24 Chicken McNuggets for just $9.95 every day.
Big fan of Praelis. He's a nice boy.
Yeah, he's so nice.
He's funny as